Not sure which hoop to do. I think that's too small for sure. Okay, so step one, I am gonna start working on this new Halloween haunted house pattern, and I have to decide which hoop I want to finish this in. Originally, I was thinking about doing a more frame style, but I couldn't find any frames that I liked. So I have these two hoops that I just had in stash, and I'm gonna see what I can do to make them feel a little bit more, a little bit snazzier than just a bamboo hoop. So I think the idea is I want to paint it black, and then I bought some random materials from Michael's to then kind of spruce them up a bit, but I'm a bit torn about square or circle. Let's see. Let's see, point it to you. I think that looks okay. Maybe the circle. I'm not sure. I can't decide. Oh, mic is a little bit low. Let's see if we can I'm super new to this live thing, so please, if you can't hear me or anything, please let me know. Yeah, I cannot decide between these two. Originally, I was just gonna go with circle, but I didn't know that I had this one in my stash. Perfect, thanks so much. What do you think? What's your preference? The square or the circle? Some of the things I got to put around the edges, I got some, after I paint the hoop black, I have some, I don't know what to call this, just like trim, some black trim, like this. It's kind of just a thin one. And then I also have some rope-ish style here. The square one, yeah, I was kind of leaning towards that too, actually. I feel like it fits the shape really well. Okay, thank you for your help on that. I think we're gonna go with square. And then I also, this is the other stuff that I got. I can't tell if it's gonna be too much, but okay, it's looking a little bit chaotic actually, but it's hard to tell, but it's sparkly black foliage. I thought it might be kind of fun to try and attach some of it around it. Maybe that will be too much, but that is a future problem. Oh wow, it really shed a whole bunch of sparkles all over the place here. That's okay. Okay. So now we're gonna go with the square hoop. Next step is going to be painting the hoop. So I need to get my painting supplies out. Okay, let's see. Too big, Nicole. It definitely is. If it was like half an inch, let's see, I'll throw you back over here. If it was like half an inch smaller, I think it would be perfect. But oh man, this is so tough. Do I just paint them both black and then decide afterwards? Maybe let's do it. Let's just paint them both black. I have so many hoops, especially this one in my stash anyways. It wouldn't be that bad of a problem to have too many black hoops. So let's get some paper out to cover. Okay, this will be our protection sheet here. I'll put this over here for safekeeping. Then I just have some basic black acrylic paint. And I'm gonna paint these and then I guess wait for a while and move on to the other finishes that I have to work on. So yeah, actually, yeah. So today I'm working on the haunted house finish. I also have autumn leaves one. Let's see if I can get that one out. This bag of Michael's Chaos. Holy moly macaroni. This is the other finish that I will be working on. It's much smaller. I think I'm just gonna do like a I guess kind of just like a flat board. Again, I was having a really hard time finding frames that I liked that worked for these patterns, but nothing was really speaking to me. Everything that I got was too small or too big, so I might just do something. I'm not sure what I'm doing with that. I'll have to decide very soon. And then I have my Biscornu finally that I am ready to finish. So I have the instructions pulled up And I'm working on putting the border on the edge, so that will come later on as well. Oh. Okay. And well, oh. Oops. Trying to get my stitching camera back, but it keeps turning off. That's okay. We're figuring it out. There we go. Okay. Let's paint these. I guess I only need to paint this outside one, thankfully. Get out of here, Zach. Oh, that is not mixed up at all. Let's try that again. I don't know if I should do this inner part here, but I'm gonna, I guess. Hopefully that's not an issue. I just don't want there to be any parts that aren't covered that are ugly. Oh my gosh, Lindsay! Hi! I'm trying something different. This is weird, but trying something to stream while I'm recording. We'll see how it goes. It's a little bit more stressful than I expected. But I'm just painting hoops. Definitely, I'm glad it's a welcome surprise. Yeah, it took me way longer than I thought to get it all set up, so I think I did a little bit more tech support than crafting than I would have originally preferred, but that is okay. Like I said, I'm here. I'm painting this hoop black for this project that I just finished. Can you see it there? Spooky vibes, just in time for the cooling weather. Yes, this is an original pattern. So I've been trying to finish my two autumnish Halloween themed ones for a while. I actually designed these last year to release at just like a local market, and then I never ended up doing anything with them. So I finally stitched this up this year. Um, and I'm so glad I waited until now because last year I was not experimenting with colored fabric at all. So now that I'm a little bit bolder with my color choices, I'm glad that this ended up on a purple. I think it turned out so fun. This is actually a fabric that Stitch by Kendall bought at Gita's when we were there for the last stitch night, and ever since I had been thinking about it. I was like, oh my gosh, I should go back and go to get some of that purple fabric for myself. So I did earlier last week and stitched it up. And then the other one I'm gonna finish. Oh my gosh, there's this orange circle here. I'm learning, so sorry. I don't know if it showed at all, but here it is. And then this is the other one I'm working on that's also just a small self-drafted little pumpkin autumn leaves bit. I know I'm such a big fan of the color of that fabric, and thankfully I'm so bad at measuring. No, I knew I was getting too much, but I don't think I realized how much extra fabric I was getting, so I have another piece the same size that I can use for something else now too. Unintentional happy accident. Hope this won't need two coats so I can continue forward. Working on releasing this Halloween-y pattern though has helped me get into the Halloween spirit a bit earlier. I'm gonna break out our Halloween decorations tomorrow to do some filming and taking some photos. So usually that doesn't come out until halfway through October. So we're gonna have an early Halloween in this household. Okay, I think that is adequately painted. Great. Hopefully I didn't miss any spots. Let me put this somewhere safe so that it can dry and get this paint stuff out of the way. I don't know where to put it. Okay, I think right. Okay, that will dry there. I feel like that's actually the way to approach it, just keeping decorations up all the time, because it is like kind of a lot of effort to do the takedown. It always makes me sad switching them out, so maybe you're onto something. Maybe that's the strategy. Just have all seasons up all the time. Okay, so that is step 1 done. I guess I kind of have to wait to move forward with anything to do with this one until that's dry. So, I guess we'll move on. Let's move this out of the way. Okay, so the idea that I had for this, here, I'll show you the frames that I did get. So, the first thing I got was this mat. It's like this velvety green. It's actually really pretty, and it fit okay. I thought it was a little bit, maybe there's too much open space. I don't think that looks awesome. So then I was looking for just another frame to use, and here, I'll switch this camera. I'll see if I can figure out how to do it. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, if you can see here, I think it's not quite right. There's too much space, I think, in my opinion. But the color is nice. So then I got this frame. Kind of the same issue applied. I was like, I don't think that's the vibe either. Let's see. Oh, this is so hard to show. You get the point. But again, just way too much dead space. So it's not the move. So then I was like, okay, we gotta go smaller. So then I got this guy. I was like, oh shit, I think this is too small now. And it's kind of one that it will sit deep in it. So I feel like I don't think that's the move either. So, okay, call me crazy. But what I was thinking about doing was just cutting to size a piece of this board to whatever size I think would work best. And then just kind of doing, like, I guess it's not technically a flat fold because there's not going to be any fold, but if there was, it's just kind of like an ornament. And then I have a whole bunch of frilliness that I could experiment with making some kind of border. Is that crazy? I feel like I'm just gonna try it. I really am not vibing with either of these frames. Yeah, I totally agree. If this was smaller, this would have been the move. But it's just not right. So it will be safe for something else in the future. So problem number 1 is going to be, how am I going to cut this? I'm hoping that if I score it with an X-Acto knife, I might be able to, like, break it off in a way. I think that by no means am I a finishing expert. I'm actually a really terrible finisher. So don't take any of this advice. Don't take this as a tutorial. None of this is going to be good, and I wouldn't recommend any of it, but we're gonna try it anyways. Okay. I have a ruler and an X-Acto knife. Let's see how... Ooh, fun fabric on the back. That's a great idea. I have some spare random stuff in that drawer. I'll have to dig through that afterwards. Okay, let's decide how big to make it. So it's about 2.5 by 2.5. So maybe we'll go... I think 1/2 inch is too big. 1/4 inch feels maybe 1/4 inch. Yeah, I like the sounds of that. So 3 and 3. Okay, let's just try it. Actually, while I have much more talented stitchers and finishers in my presence, I still don't know what to do with my tiny modernist. Oh my goodness, where is the camera? There it is. It's like, it's way smaller than I expected it to be. It's, what is this? 2.5 across. I was really thinking about like maybe something soft, but I don't know what. I like the idea of like a change purse or a needle book, but I'm not a great sewer. So I don't know if I would just ruin it. We'll just sit nicely folded up until I'm less indecisive. Okay. So we're gonna go 3, 3, and across. 3 and 3. Okay. Yeah, I like the idea of a needle book because I actually really like this one. This one that was the table gift, or the one of the items in the swag bag at Stitch North. I use it all the time. I never expected to be somebody that would use it. I feel like I would need to get some sort of the quilting like padding to put in between it. Maybe that would be nice. I feel like that would be so cute. Oh, imagine. Oh my gosh, it would be so cute. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll have to be a little bit more brave with my stitching or my sewing skills, but maybe I'll use this one just as a guide. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that would be really cute. Okay, maybe I'll try that. That's for a different day, though. I'll need to do some more research on that. Okay. Oh, that's a good idea. Definitely scrapped fabric. Good call. I would have absolutely just like dived right in and then immediately regretted it when it inevitably went poorly. So good call on that. All right, let's see how this oh, camera just turned off. Okay, let's see how this goes. God, I'm scared. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Okay, yeah. That'll definitely work. I just need to be patient. I'm not sure what's wrong with my little camera here, but it keeps cutting out. Sorry for the black screens. I'll have to figure something out there. Okay. Oh, I see. Not ideal. Okay, it's almost all the way through. Okay. Okay. It's a little bit scrappy. But we have our square. Let's see how we feel about this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this will do just fine. That is good enough for me. I should really iron this, shouldn't I? Oh goodness. Okay. I guess ironing is next, but that's fine. I have other stuff I can prep. This has come a little loose. Let me glue that together. Some crazy glue too. All right, it is Sarah locked. Oh gosh. Oh no. Hold on. Oh god. Maybe I won't be doing any gluing tonight. Oh. Push and unscrew. Like push down? Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Gosh, that broke a sweat. See you later, Lindsay. Thanks for stopping by. Excited to share them with you when they're done. Okay, let's just re-glue this corner a little bit because it's just come up a little bit loose, and I don't want to cut a new one. So I'll just do this. Oh shit. Oh gosh. Okay. That's drying there. I think I need to go get my iron to iron this on before we stick it on. So, I'll be right back. And in the meantime, I think I'm also gonna change the camera angle since this camera keeps turning off, which sucks. Let's see if I can figure that out. Okay. I'm gonna go get the iron. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back bearing an iron. Let's put this stuff over here. Okay. A little short on room here, but that's okay. We're gonna make it work. Okay. Iron is warming up. Okay. So, this is here. Just gonna put a protective layer on top. Okay. And I guess we wait for that to heat up. And I suppose while we've got this out, it only makes sense to iron both of them at the same time. That's fine. Okay. Let's do some ironing. It's looking quite a bit nicer. Okay. Still some lines I don't love. It's definitely better. There's still some creases in there that I don't love, like here. Don't know what the solution is to that. I'm sure there's an obvious solution that I'm just not privy to, but you know, we're learning. Okay, I think that will be sufficient. Let's put this somewhere safe. And over to this one. Oh my gosh, I just realized, you want to know? I said that I was going to paint both the square and the circle, and I only ended up painting the circle. Is that the universe choosing for me? Or do I backtrack a little bit? Oh boy. That one's turning out quite a bit more even. Nice. Lately, I really have been the queen of cutting fabric way too big for the project. Did I need a piece of fabric this big for this little haunted house? Absolutely not. But I get so worried I'm going to find myself in a situation where I don't have enough room on the edges, so that's what we've done. Okay, that looks great. Let's put that here. See if I can get this a little bit. Okay. That's good. Let's unplug the iron so we don't injure ourselves. Okay. Okay. Well, now that I've remembered that I forgot to start painting this one, let me do that really quick before this paintbrush completely dries. Oh my gosh, yeah, no, I was just thinking the same thing, especially this one. There are still some creases in this one I don't totally love, but that's okay, but it's so much better. But especially this one. That one was a very satisfying iron. Okay. Back to painting. I had actually never thought about painting a hoop before I started following Stitch by Kendall, and she did or maybe she's still doing, but like it's a Pokemon series, and she'd paint the hoops like Pokeballs, which I thought was such a good idea and so unique. And ever since then I was like, well, why have I never painted a hoop before? It seems like such a easy way to make something fit your project better when you're finishing in a hoop. So this felt like the perfect opportunity to try it out. I guess the only thing I am a bit worried about, I suppose, is if there will be any paint transfer when I'm putting the actual project in. But I guess if there are on the edges that are tucked in, it doesn't really matter. It's okay. I'll let you know if it goes badly. I guess that maybe I shouldn't have done these inner parts, but it's far too late for that now. I'm sure it'll be fine. Are you working on any stitching projects right now? Oh, hairspray. That's a great idea. Oh, that's a really good idea. That will be baked into one of the steps, I suppose, now. Yeah, maybe a clear varnish of some kind would be best, but don't think I have anything quite like that on hand, so hairspray. That's a good in a pinch idea. I managed to not get any black paint on my hand the first time, and now I'm covered. I guess I'm getting impatient. Ooh, an orca and a narwhal. I've actually really been starting to get a craving to do something oceany, watery themed. But that's really beautiful. Oh, nice. Freebie pattern. That always rocks. Oh, hopefully I didn't get paint on that. Okay. Nice. Okay. That, oh, maybe we should do this top part too, actually. False alarm. Okay. That's done. Perfect. I'm gonna hang it up as well. Okay, now that my hands are very much covered in paint. Okay, maybe I will go wash my hands quickly before I touch my beautiful oatmeal colored fabric. Okay. I have the black paint removed from my hands. And I think it is time to start prepping this part. So the strategy I was thinking about doing was putting some double-sided tape on this to then attach to this so it had something to secure on, and then doing like the folded over stitching. I feel like that will work. Maybe the double-sided tape is kind of redundant, but let's try it out. So, I don't actually have the rolls of double-sided tape that I thought I did. So, I have these double-sided adhesive sheets, which will serve the same purpose. Just gonna take a little bit more cutting work. Double-sided tape will help you keep it in place and line up correctly, even if it's just a small bit. Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad I'm on the right track. Thank you for validating my decision. Okay, let's turn this camera back on. And we go like this. Oops. Not like that. Like this, hopefully. Okay, excellent. And let's cut the piece that we need. A little bit smaller than it needs to be. Oops. Okay. Okay, so now let's stick this to one side. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Okay, let's be gentle. Okay, that's fine. We'll just cut off the edge. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm nervous. Shit. Okay. What is the best way to do this? Oh, that would have been a good idea. Yeah, you're witnessing real time me absolutely fumble this. But that's okay. We're learning today. We are learning. Okay, it's going well. Okay, it's not going so badly. Okay, so question for the folks who know what they're doing better than I do. The raisedness here and like the slight bumpies, the only way to actually get rid of that would to just be a better stitcher and my back's a little bit less chaotic. And I don't think the back of this one is horrible, but there's still definitely some like raised bits. I don't know if you can really see what I'm talking about on camera or not. Let's see. Yeah, you see it's like the hills and valleys. Is there anything I can do about that? Or is that just the stitches? I don't think it looks bad, but okay. I don't think there's anything I can do about that today, so that'll be a future improvements, but I think it's cute. Oh. Oh, interesting. Like an extra layer of fabric in between the stitched layer and the backing. Interesting. Oh man, do I try it? What do I have? Let me see what I have to maybe assist with that. I see. Okay. This is interesting. Okay. Okay, so then, silly question. This is a piece of felt. Maybe this is not the perfect thing to use. But how would I go about securing these two parts together? Because then the sticky... I need to iron this again. I think it's created some ugly creases. Sewing clips. Oh. Okay, I know what I'm getting next time I go to a craft store. I'll have to be inventive tonight. Okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna iron it a little bit again. Oh yes, I can see already. I can see what a difference this is gonna make. Holy moly macaroni. You're changing my life. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I decided to try this live thing, because I would have never had such great advice on the fly. So thanks very much for that. Oh, good idea. I was gonna say, it's feeling a bit bulky. That is a great idea. Okay. think I like the sizing of that. Okay. Wow, I went silent there for a while. It clearly took all of my brain power. But it's already looking so much nicer. Okay, amazing. Yeah, it looked perfect. Oh, here, I'll switch over to this again. Over here, come on. It's all backwards. Hello. There we go. Oh, here, I gotta move this iron out of the way. It's on still. Alright, check it out. Please focus. Alright, well, I wish that this would focus, but you're getting the point. Yeah, it is so much flatter. It makes it look a lot more even. That is excellent. Thank you so much for those suggestions. That is helping tremendously. So now let's clean up this one edge because it's a little poking over just a little bit. Okay, perfect. So I think the next step is start folding over these edges. I can probably get away with trimming some of this excess fabric now. You can tell I've really gone into concentration mode with the silence. I'll have to get better at this talking and crafting situation, but so right now I'm just putting some more sticky on the back so that when I'm folding over the edges, it's got something to grip to. It seems to be working okay right now. Okay, so. Here, I'll show you what I'm. Oh. Oops. Turned the camera off when I was trying to switch over. Goodness. Let's see. I'm coming back, or I'm trying to. There we go. Okay. Final side. Okay. Progress. Okay, not horrible for a first time. The edges are looking a little wonky, but that is why we're going to add the border, so it's not going to be nearly as noticeable. Wow. It's coming along great. We're going to ignore that it's a tiny bit off angle. But it's okay. It's just for me. It's not going to anybody else. But gosh, that extra layer of fabric, what a game changer. Thank you so much for that suggestion. I'm excited to actually implement that to other finishes in the future. So next, it's going to be time to start choosing some of my border things. But let's do a little tidy up first, why don't we? Get some of this mess out of the way. Use my favorite, one of my favorite office craft tools is this, I don't know what she calls it. It's from Monkey and Mouse, but it's basically just like a disposable, like, it just sits wherever you are, and you can throw stuff as you go, so you don't have to make a mess in front of you, and also you don't have to run to the garbage all the time. You can get felt that has, whoa, really? Adhesive felt? Okay. I did not know that was a thing either. Gosh, I'm learning a lot today. Yeah, that would be really nice, actually. That's really good to know for the future. I will definitely be picking some of that up for future. So now, this is exciting. All of the the trim ends. This came in like this package, and it was only like $5.99, so this is way more than I could possibly need, but I felt like it gave me a lot of options and variety to experiment with what I think would look best. So there was definitely some specific ones that piqued my interest, so let me pull those out. Let's see if this camera will turn on again, please. There we go. So, I was thinking something like this on the back, so that it's like peeking out might be kind of fun, and then I really like this, but I don't like the color with this. It looks far too neon compared, so I'm gonna have to go with one of the more neutral looking ones. There was also, right, this little, yeah, I thought that kind of looked nice. Or this orange has, I think that's the same issue too. I think it's too orange compared, so maybe this red. It's not quite the same as the red that's used either, however, it definitely matches a bit more. So maybe something like that. Let's see what else we have. I think this is not quite right either. I think it's all a bit too vibrant. So I do like this one too, but no, I don't think that's right. I feel like yeah, like that's kind of fun. It's kind of frilly. And then this one. That's kind of fun. It's very different for me. This is all extremely outside of what I typically do, so it's kind of cute. Okay, I think we're just gonna do it. Go with my gut, right? So we're gonna use this one and this one. Okay, let's cut an end and then add a little bit of glue because I feel like this might fray, so I want to get ahead of that. Let's wait for that to not be tacky anymore. Okay, perfect. I'm glad you're on board. Okay, let's wait for that to dry. Maybe it'd be cute to do like put it around and then at the end like either the top or bottom have like a bow or something. Let's see what that would look like. And then like tied up in a bow. That'd be kind of cute. Do you think bow on the top or the bottom though? If it's at the bottom, then it can kind of like dangle down. I feel like that's the move. Otherwise, it might risk, if it's at the top, kind of like covering up. I think bottom. I think bottom. We will continue with the theme of just trusting my gut. And then that way I can have this part finish in the center. And maybe it'll be a little less obvious. Okay, I like that. Alright, that edge is still a little bit sticky. My fingers are all tacky now. I think I'm gonna put gloves on because I really hate the feeling of super glue on my fingers. Perfect. Yeah, we are totally in sync tonight. We are having the same thought process. Now it looks like I'm going into surgery, but I hate the feeling of super glue, so this is what we're coming to. Oh, this camera fell off. Let's switch it over to this while I'm doing this. Shit. Super glue is going crazy. Hot glue. Yeah, that's the next tool I need to get. I don't actually own a hot glue gun. I've never had a use for it until now. Oh man, yeah. I don't think super glue is going to be the move for this. All about finding supplies we never knew we needed. Yep, yeah, you can absolutely say that again. Okay, I think that, unfortunately, that means this guy has to pause for the rest of tonight. Because super glue is really not an enjoyable process so far. Hot glue gun is definitely the move. So I'm going to take a trip to Michael's tomorrow and get a hot glue gun, I suppose. And then maybe I'll be able to finish it tomorrow, but this is not going to be finished tonight. That's okay. We got a really good chunk of it done. So we're in really good shape to continue tomorrow. And that's okay because we're working on other stuff too. So let me reset my station again because we've gotten chaotic again. And then we'll check to see where we are at with the black hoops for the haunted house. Otherwise, I can work on my Biscornu, or I do still have to fully finish my How to Train Your Dragon piece, but that actually might have required some frame painting as well. That's okay. Let's pivot back to haunted house and see what kind of progress we can make on that. Let me save these two so I remember that's what we've chosen. And I'll put that over here for now. Well, thanks so much for stopping by. It was such a treat. You're here for the first, and I look forward to hopefully doing some more in the future. And hopefully next time I'm on, I've made more progress. So head to bed with the dog and have a lovely rest of your night. So both of these are dry now. Now I have to come back to the decision of circle or square. Oh, goodness. Here's square. The black frame is turning out great. It has this horrible feeling to it, unfortunately. Just like that, that painted, it's a bit of a sensory nightmare, but that's okay. So we have this, and then this was kind of what I was thinking about doing on the edge. If you can see like that. I think it will just bring a little bit of texture to it. Yeah, I like the look of that. Or do we like the circle? Let's see. That is a tough choice, actually. Yeah, I think that you're right. I was just thinking that. I was like, in an ordinary setting, I think I would go like this because it is a really good size for it. But you're right. This yeah, I feel like this is the move as well. Okay, perfect. I'm so glad that I went back and decided to actually paint that part as well. And I think it has a little bit more of a dramatic edge, and I can layer these trim pieces a bit better. So let's rock and roll with that. Now for getting this all sorted out. Wow, that was a really good first try. Just needs a little bit of massaging, but that is pretty freaking good. yeah, this is definitely the right move. I'm very satisfied with this so far. Yeah, I guess that's such a good point. It's like, if you're gonna take the, if you're gonna use hand-dyed fabric and A, spend the extra money that cost, and B, have like some of this like nice variation of color, you definitely want to be able to show it off a bit more in the final product. So, okay, sneak peek of what it will look like. I think that's looking pretty good. And then if I decide to go crazy and add some of the extra stuff here, there'll be a little bit more room, so it won't feel like it's encroaching too much. Ugh. This might be too much. It's really out of the ordinary for me, but I'm not much like of a Halloween person typically, so I was like, well, let's just try something totally different. We'll see. I'm not sold on that part yet, but I am sold on the square. So let's get that part finishing going. To break out the screwdriver. Okay, it's coming along. Just kind of just massaging it into the place. Thank you so much, Daisy and Decaf. I am seeing that it's looking a little bit, let's see if you can see it on camera, it's a little bit lopsided. This side is looking a little bit too high. See if I can massage it, or if I'm going to have to pull it out. You know what? I'm kind of looking at it. That might just be a bit of an optical illusion with the stitching. It's not that bad, actually. I think it's more of just a bit of an uneven stitching. It's not looking bad, I don't think. Let's see what it looks like here. Oh wow, you can really see the variation of color in this camera. That's really nice. It's funny, this little lighter patch here, it almost looks like a continuation of the walkway. That's a funny coincidence. Okay. Okay, let's tighten it a little bit more and call it locked in place. It's pretty drum tight. Do a quick measuring job. Half. About 1.5. That's pretty close. 1.5. Definitely a little bit low. Definitely a bit low. I don't hate that. Okay. What do we think? Do we need to move it up? I feel like this is always the hard part for me, is I get a little bit locked in these spots of like, okay, the next step is kind of permanent, so I better be happy with it now, and then I'll just mess around with it aimlessly until I'm sick of looking at it. I feel like that's pretty okay. Is it too low? I'm gonna make myself crazy. 1.5. Like, it's definitely lower. Yes, oh, in October, no. I wish I was going to the October one. I have a couple friends who are going to the Stitch North in October, but I am going to the one next year. I believe I'm weekend 2, so I'm super, super excited. Oh, Rachel, I love that energy that it doesn't need to be perfect. You're right. Maybe that speaks to it. It's haunted. It's spooky. It's okay to be imperfect. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. I think if I try again, I will just make myself... I'll get stuck in this part, and then it'll never get finished. It's pretty good. Yeah, I have heard that the spring one's more popular. Because the fall one is relatively new from my understanding. Was it last year was the first time, or maybe it was the year before? I'd like to go at some point, especially since there's a featured designer. Is it Jeanette Douglas that is the featured designer? Did I make that up? I can't remember. I'll have to look, but I would definitely like to go at some point, but right now the spring one, just the spring one once a year is what's in budget right now. Are you going to the October one or the spring one or both? Very nice. You're taking your mom and your daughter. Oh, that's so nice. That'll be really, really lovely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing all of the photos on the Facebook page, and if anybody's making videos while they're there. Excited to see what it is all about. Okay, I think I am going to next stitch all of this fabric in tight. Sometimes I would just glue the edges in because it's a lot faster, but it's a lot more permanent. Might just do the stitches so that let's cut some of this excess though, because this is far too much fabric to be working with. Okay, it's done. Let's get some floss and a needle. This will do. Okay. Don't think I needed it to be that big, but it's a common thing for me, is just do more so that you don't have too little. Okay. Oh, we have a visitor actually before I get started. Oh, well, we almost had a visitor. Yuki, my older cat. I mean, she's not old. She's only 3.5, but she's the older of the two. Scampered in briefly, and I was gonna show her off, but she quickly scampered away again. So now I'm just Now I'm just stitching up the back so that it all collects together in the middle so that I can then stitch a back onto it, like a felt back. Just keep it simple. There's no significance behind this color. It truly was just the color that I already had out, and nobody's going to see it, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. We'll cinch it in. It's not gorgeous, but it gets the trick done. I'm just going to secure it. Okay. That will do the trick. Cut that. Now I need to find a backing. Well, it would have been nice if I had saved that black for the back, but of course I did not. I do have this gray though, which I think will work totally fine. So let's see if this scrap here is big enough. Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, let's outline it so I can cut it out. Okay. Okay, cut one, done. Just gonna clean it up, make it a bit smaller though. I haven't fully finished anything in a while, so I have forgotten what a lengthy process all of this is. I've gotten into a really bad habit of just finishing and never fully finishing, so And I used to be really good about that. Like, I would not even move on to the next project until I had the other one fully finished, but that's okay. So now I have the back cut out, and now I just need to stitch it all the way around the edge. So it does matter what color this is now. So I feel like I'm just gonna do black though. I think that will look nice. I might be sacrificing the rest of this skein. That's okay. I'm sure I've got some extra 310 somewhere. Some people honking outside. That's weird. Okay. Let's do this. Now, it's a little bit less forgiving in the square hoop because the square actually has a bit of a shape to it, whereas the circle kind of massage to whatever you need it to be. That's okay. Thanks so much for stopping by, Rachel. It was really sweet to be able to speak with you, and thanks so much for your help and tips and tricks in this fully finishing process. So look forward to sharing all of the wisdom that you were able to share with me this evening. So thanks for stopping by. Now I'm just working on stitching this felt around the edge of the back. And I'm realizing I might find myself in the same situation of needing to wait until tomorrow to do the edge, because I think that super glue is going to be equally as not fun for this one. But that's okay. I will probably, if I still have got energy, pivot to the third project that I'm trying to fully finish, which is my very first Biscornu. actually almost running out of thread here, so I guess I didn't cut off as much as I thought I did. Wow, it's like literally almost the perfect size. That almost could have been bad, but the floss gods were on my side this time. Thank goodness. Right, final stitch. Okay. And we'll cut this thread. All right. And the back is officially on. Voila. I'll do a close up. Okay. There's the front. And there's the back. You can see a bit of the fabric peeking through the edges there, but you can see there's just a stitch all the way around the edge. Nice. Very nice. I am happy with the way that that's turning out. So then the next step really is to start securing these little decorative pieces that I want to do, but like I was saying, I don't think that's going to be super fun to do with the super glue. I think I need to wait until I get the hot glue gun tomorrow. But in the meantime, what do we think about the options? So I have this one, and it goes on the outside edge too, like that. And then it kind of just sits there nice and flush. Could just do that, or I can do that paired with the rope, and the rope would kind of cover the front part of the hoop. Or we could just do the rope on the outside edge. What do we think? Both? Just one? I'm not sure what I like better. I'm so torn. Just the first one, yeah. I think it's a little bit, it almost makes it look like a frame, and the shine of it kind of gives it a nice bit of interest. Okay, well, I can't progress on that tonight, so that we'll have to wait for tomorrow. But we are making great progress on the beginnings of these finishes. So to recap, we've finished this hoop super basically with just the felt back, and I'm gonna add the trim tomorrow in the morning, and then I think that means that I can do the filming for the video and the photos for this, so that I can hopefully launch this pattern. If I really am motivated, maybe I can do it all tomorrow, but I'm not sure if that's realistic. But hopefully by the end of this week, before next weekend, I can get this live, as well as this little guy. And same applies. I got the mounting pretty much done. I just need to do the trim and then put some kind of back on it and do all the filming for this little guy as well. Perfect in autumn Halloween vibes. Perfect. I'm so happy with that. Oh, they look great. So productive. Awesome. Okay. I guess I have to put both of these aside for now. And with the little energy I have left, I'm probably going to jump over to do my Biscornu, or at least continue prepping it. I still have to finish doing the outside border, so I think that's probably what I'm going to do. That's not super interesting to watch, so perhaps I'll just show you where I am at that and then call the live for tonight complete. And I'll be back tomorrow when I have other things I can actually work on. But this is where I'm at so far. So I am just working on getting that stitching border done. So I still have kind of a little bit more to do on both sides. But you can see here. Yeah, it's turning out really nicely. I like this a lot. So I'm excited to get this all finished up. So I just need to finish this border. You can see I started over here, but I didn't like where I ended up starting it, so I had to rip them out, and hopefully that doesn't look too badly. Once it's complete, and then I'll put the border on this side, and then start following some tutorials on the actual stitching them together. So thank you. Yeah, I love the colors of these so much. I'm really excited to get this going. So let me clean up my station again, get myself sorted. I'll do a little bit of the stitching of the border, but like I said, I think this is going to be a little bit boring for a while, so maybe I'll just switch over my camera to the over the shoulder and I'll keep stitching along, but a little bit less exciting for the rest of the evening. But step one, reset the workstation. Yeah, I'm also excited. The patterns that I was finishing, I had mentioned much earlier in the stream that they were patterns I designed last year for a local market that I was doing for the first time, and I was selling pre-made kits for some of the designs that I have. So I actually have a couple of leftover kits so that when I do finally launch the patterns, I'm going to do a giveaway so that if folks are interested in stitching them themselves, you can do so. I guess the only difference between the haunted house one is that this kit comes with just some oatmeal Aida, but it's stitched up really nicely on that as well. So that's something I'm excited to share on the next official floss tube video. So something to look forward to. What I might do is I'm probably going to switch these cameras around. That's not so bad. Okay. Well, I can keep it like this and can keep showing you what I'm stitching, even though it's gonna be quite boring right now. Well, maybe I'll mount my stand. All right. Well, that will do. So I'm gonna continue stitching, but probably gonna get awful quiet because I'm just stitching these bordering edges here. Okay, so I'm just going to do a recap so I have it for when I'm editing. But now I am working on the oh, I need to add on. Okay, that should work better now. Okay. So now that I have made some good progress on my other two finishes, fully finishes, now I'm going back to my Biscornu that I've mentioned a number of times on this channel, and I'm finally in the beginning stages of assembling it. So when I went to sit down to assemble it the other day, I realized that I didn't know that you had to stitch this border around and that it was a very important part to the actual finishing process. So that's what I'm in the middle of doing right now. You can see here that I have it almost all the way around this first one, but I still have the second one to completely do, so I've got a bit more stitching to do. So I'm gonna lock in and start working on that. Jason, hello, how are you? You've come once I've reoriented my setup, so I'm using my ugly camera right now because I've been in a bunch of I've been doing a bunch of fully finishing. It's been a fully finishing evening. I'm halfway through, or I'd say more than halfway through some finishing. So here, I'll switch back to this nice camera actually. So we've put this guy in a hoop. We've put the backing on, and now tomorrow I have to go buy myself a hot glue gun because I don't own one. And now I'm going to add some trim onto the edge and make it a little bit spookier. But this is my new haunted house pattern that once I get this finished up and take the photos and videos for, I'll be launching soon enough. Nice and spooky. And then the other one was just this little tiny flat finish. Autumn leaves. But I'm also going to add some trim onto this tomorrow once I pick up a hot glue gun. And now I have returned to this never-ending Biscornu series. And I'm working on just putting the border on so that I can actually start the assembling journey. Are you stitching on anything in particular this evening, or just doing some floss tube watching? Oh, that's awesome. Yep. Yeah, I was really glad to have that Zoom call last night, just because I have so many little projects on the go that I'm hoping to finish up. I was feeling like my connection piece was falling to the sideline a little bit, so it was really nice to be able to dedicate some time to that in the presence of the rest of my connection as well, and you, of course. You've definitely joined in the lower energy part of this this stream. It's the first time I've ever trying the live streaming, but I thought I'd give it a shot while I was doing something fun like the finishes. But now I'm on this border. This border is not making for great content. And it's so strange for it to be so quiet too. Usually I'm watching something or listening to music, but I don't really I don't want to risk breaking any rules on YouTube, so I don't totally know how to, or if I can put music on, but yeah, it was a really small group. I was gonna ask if the one previous to that was as small, but you're right, it was kind of nice to be able to have a little bit more one-on-one time, get to know everybody. Exciting this weekend. Truly, I think this is my excitement for the weekend. Last night's Zoom call and today was a full day of just getting stuff ready to finish. It was my partner's away for the weekend, having a boys' weekend, so I've got the place to myself, and I figured it was the perfect excuse to take over the entire place into a cross-stitch production studio. So I'm hoping to be able to film a floss tube tomorrow, and if I can get those projects totally finished up, then I'll also film and take all the pictures and maybe get those posted on Etsy if I'm speedy enough, and some other like random like little freelance work stuff. So it's a full hobby and freelance catch up kind of weekend, which is kind of nice. It's been a really busy summer, so it's been nice to have just a weekend to not feel guilty about staying inside. Though the weather honestly has been quite nice here, so I might have to go out for a walk or a run tomorrow. What about yourself? Right. So you said that you had a surgery not too long ago. That is very fair and warranted. Are you finding that cross stitches is recovery friendly, or does that take just a bit too much energy at times as well? Oh, good. I'm glad to to hear that. There's yeah, it can be really frustrating when you're recovering from something and it feels like it takes you away from everything, especially the hobby stuff, but glad that there's been a lot of stitching. And hopefully lots of time to catch up on all kinds of floss tuber stuff. I know that we were talking last night that it really does feel like there's so many creators right now that it's hard to keep up with everything, and then you'll hear some Stitch friends referencing, oh, so and so's video, they just talked about this, and it's like, oh gosh, I gotta get that one off of my watch list and that one off of my watch list. It's a lot of content to keep up with these days. Good problem to have, though. I'm almost about to make it to the edge of this border, but I think I am going to have to rethread. So close, but so far. Okie dokie. There is the border of, I think this is the bottom? I don't actually know. Border 1 is complete. Now to do the exact same thing on this side. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I love the colors. That's really what drew me to this piece right away. I was interested in doing a Biscornu, so I just started searching on Etsy to see some patterns that sparked joy, and these colors really popped out to me. And hey, the timing ended up working perfect that this will hopefully be finished before the first day of true fall. That would be lovely. Okay, I think, let's go back to this. I think that I am going to call it for this live for tonight. Been going for about 2.5 hours, it says, I think, somewhere. Can't tell. But all I've got left for today is finishing this border around the edge, which is not the most exciting thing to watch. But I made really good progress with it. I'm really happy with the way that it's turning out. And once I'm rested and back up tomorrow, I will be picking up with finishing off these two projects, fully finishing them with the trims. Then I'll do some filming, and maybe I'll finish this Biscornu this weekend. That feels a little bit optimistic, but you never know. So thank you so much for all of the folks who popped in and everybody who said hi and gave me some tips and tricks while I was finishing. This was a really fun first live experience, and I think I'll definitely be trying it some more in the future. So thank you all so much. And for the folks who are still here, thanks so much, Jason. It was lovely to speak with you. And until next time,